Welcome to The Grant, the EU funding podcast. My name is Niels Tudor Winter, and I am the creator, editor, and host of The Grant. The Grant is an independent, non-commercial podcast initiative with the ambition to dig into all corners of the EU R&D funding system on topics of interest for the full EU R&D funding community. Networking is one of the most important elements of working within this field. The ability to navigate in this big ocean is vital for success with grants proposals. There are many layers to be aware of and to work with. Back in autumn 2022, I reached out to Lara Valentín Carrera from FUNDITEC in Spain to get her involved in the grant. We have known each other for a long time, and our conversation moved into the issue of networking because that was how we met. So we carved out an episode digging into networking both from a practical perspective, but even more important from a psychological and interhuman perspective. This is a strong episode. As usual, it became a long talk, and I have divided the recording into two. In this second half, we continue the talk about brokerage events, and thereafter move into the subject of which social skills you need to practice. Finally, we uncover how years of networking efforts can influence both your professional and personal life. Please enjoy. The Grand. Hey, on the break, the coffee break. Oh.
There's coffee break, so yeah.
What I wanted to touch a little bit upon, what was important for me as a tool, step a little bit away from the matchmaking events, database. Having a clear tool for my networking was my database, discipline. To building up a solid structure, it can be Excel, whatever, a place where you have and put in the ones you like your network, and where you are able to filter and sort and put the values into the filters, so you know how to work with them as you move on. It's very important, I would say.
Yeah, it's very important. I agree. You can use Excel or you can use a program to have the database. Yes. And also, we are talking a lot about the source of networking is the matchmaking. Not only you can do networking when you do a project meeting.
Yeah.
Because project meetings are focused in showing the results at month. Where the project is running, but then I've been in project meetings where my organization, where FUNDITEC has been participating because we are partners, but I'm not the technical part of the project. But I go there because I know that there are several partners that they don't know me, and I would like to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
So you go there because of the project, and then you also do networking there. So that's very an important source of achieving a networking. And what I do also, and sometimes it's working, it's emailing. You just email somebody that you don't know.
Yes, because this is important. Because you said it earlier. Because this desktop research is also very important to understand the area that you are supporting with. If you're a facilitator and if you work within it yourself, understand, if you don't know already, the depths of the area. And you need to find out who are the key players. Who do I need to know? And you don't have to wait for a matchmaking event.
No,
because you're not sure that they come. So of course you need to. I think maybe it's stating the obvious, but sometimes I know from my network, that there might be a tendency to stick within the same old group. if you already have been doing EU projects for years, for a couple of times, successful or some proposals, then you stick with that group and you know, okay, these are the guys that we are working with when we work EU projects. But it's to take the time and dig out maybe other core areas or complementary areas within what you do and find out who are the core persons there. That's just approach people, because nobody is outright, you know, I've rarely met people who are angry if you approach them with something like this, because it's mutual beneficial.
Yeah.
And it might not be that there's anything to, you know, like it might not be something concrete for the moment if it's not of their interest, the corner that you work with, but you're on. Then you have it. You have that person in your database. Yeah, it's all a part of building very slowly and diligently, brick by brick by brick by brick, until you made a very, very large building.
Yeah.
It takes time. Takes years.
One have to be very passionate. That's what. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. And you have to, I think I put here, patience. You have to be patient.
Yeah. And have an attitude that, how to say, patient, but also you can receive whatever answer possible. You can imagine. So don't be angry, as you say, try to be really open-minded, that you can receive any type of answer from your request. That, hey, I would like to meet you. Would you like to have a meeting and I explain you who we are, and if we'll see if we can have a possible collaboration? Maybe they don't answer. They answer that. Usually they always say yes, let's have a meeting. But you have to be ready that maybe they are not interested in you. So you have to handle also that frustration.
Yes. And there might be that, especially if you go for real interesting partners, for instance, big industrial companies or some research organizations that everybody wants, you know, like the beauty queens, as we call them in P&O, the Fraunhofer or Syntef, you know, like some of these organizations that everybody wants on board. Then you have to be prepared that what can you know, offer me, you know. And
the key point in that case is to reach the exact person, and you have to do a bit of research, because usually these organizations have a person that is, for example, in the European projects department or in the knowledge transfer office or things like that. Then you have to reach that person.
And this is interesting. This is because this is where it gets really, really difficult. But it's also where you need to. So we talked a lot about preparing or some desktop research, but here, this is where your skills as a networker starts to develop into advanced level. So because I moved there. So I moved into these levels, and you've probably been there yourself, Lara. So you say you have a consortium. Let's just, you know, I just give it a practical example now. Cannot mention, of course, what it was about, but practical example, we would have a research organization with a project idea. I was helping when I worked for P&O. And then they would have a handful of partners that they had contact to. And then they would say, but we would also like to have these and these and these, and we need someone who can do these and these. And I know that this and this company can do this, and this research organization can do this and this. And then and that's all you have. And you don't even know the organization. You have no idea what they are. So you start to dig into websites. You know, it's often you will find some websites you have persons, but if they're large organizations, you don't find a full list of the employees there, especially not in corners of research department or anything. So what to do? So what I started, one of the tools I used was to go into the database of the commission, in the participants portal, where you can look in old projects funded projects, and then start to dig yourself into keywords, searching through projects, and slowly, when you're dealing, because you have a focus of the project that you're dealing with, a project idea, and when you start to use the same keywords, then you start to carve out, wait a minute, the same organizations keep popping up, and what is good in there is that often there is a contact person related to the specific organization. Sometimes not, so there you will be extra challenged, but often there is a person. So then you need to follow down that rabbit hole and find that person in the organization. It can be, I tried that they multinational company, so you need to identify the exact place where that person is. But so this is,
it's funny because listening to you, it's like it's my daily. It's my daily routine. Like, and if I think about it, I'm like, wait a moment, this is like, well, I think I do now much quicker than before, but it's like an amazing job. Like, you are a detective, or
yeah, exactly.
Like, you have to really look for that person, because you cannot go to the wrong person. Well, maybe yes, but if you reach that person, you will have more chances of getting their interest, and then you are the first one approaching that person, and that there is no another one approaching, and then because you want that organization in your consortium, because they are the best, and there might be another consortium building up a same idea and then approaching that organization as well. So you have to be first.
Yeah, or you need to see, who your work depends who you work with. If you have a consortium with you or batch of starting partners, and then say, if you then identify these guys that was funded twice, for instance, in that group, can we? And then you try to squeeze yourself in and say, could you use someone like us? What about this that we have here? Would you like to have that on board your consortium? But it's so this is one thing. One thing is to identify them, and this can take, as you can hear from me and Lara's work here, what we paint, the picture we paint for you now. It can take a while. It's resource intensive to do this kind of detective work, but that's not done with that. Because you might find that damn person you need to find, but there might not be contact details. If you find the person, then there might just be a general phone number. So that's the next thing. That's getting to talk or in contact with that person. And what I learned is emails, LinkedIn messages. If I was to make sure to get a feedback, because that's the thing, feedback, understanding if that person even wants to talk to you and discuss the subject, then you need to have that person on a telephone. That's my experience.
Giving an example about just exactly what we are talking about, is an example is just recent about a project that we just got funded. We are in the grant agreement preparation. We have a very clear idea of what we want, and we knew that we have to invite a specific researcher of a specific thing. But we didn't have like a clue how to approach him. Mm-hmm. So, finally it was not difficult to find the email address because it was published in the website. Mm-hmm. But then you have to. I remember when because we brought the email together, the technical coordinator and me, like we have to be like to write in a very concise way and very short why who we are, why we want him, and for what. So that's also a very important thing to think about when you approach an organization and you really, for a specific reason, how you approach. Maybe the phone is not the best option, maybe it's the second, maybe the next day. But first, an email where you have everything very clear, so that CEO or he has time to go through, and you have to be very convincing, and so that she or he doesn't have any doubt about it, that wants to have a call or a phone call or a teleconference with you. So it's very important. Once you reach that person, do it. You have to write very the writing communication is a super skills that you have to develop.
This is
when doing the networking.
It's vital what Lara is telling you now, my dear listeners.
I have to say that we succeed, and that it was a researcher, a woman from Basque Country Research Center, focused in agriculture. She's really top researcher, and we are small, so we are not much known. So at the beginning, she was like, "Who are they?" Like, a lot of doubts about it. Anyway, so they finally they say, "Okay, let's go to your proposal." And all the successful story that we got the project 2 weeks ago. So I got an email from her. It was a thankful email. I thank you for approaching me and thinking about that I was the best researcher for your project. There you have the network.
Yeah.
Or, she will remember us.
Yes, because you don't want to have done all this work, and then because of your approach, it's not professional enough. That core vital person is not going to do anything with you because you screwed up. You messed up the approach you made.
You don't have clear ideas, then all is wasted.
So who are you? What is it you want to do with that? What's the core idea, and what do you want that organization to do? Why do you need them in? It's very clear, very simple. And if you have, that's also one of the things that I mentioned in my timeline series at this stage. When you reach out to people, make a project description. Concept note, where you have more intensive information, so to say, extended information about what you want to do, partners already on board, if you can.
And you can even be very honest, like, we know you. We need you because that part of the concept, that piece of the puzzle, we need that you develop this part because we know it's crucial, this piece of the puzzle of our concept. But without you, we don't know how to develop it.
Yeah.
This is what we do. Like, we had the concept. We knew that we have to address that, but we didn't have any clue how to do it because they were the expert. We were not. So I think also they like our approach. Like, we need you because you are the experts. We are not. We know how to prepare a proposal, write a proposal, and everything. But we don't know about this piece of science that you are bringing to our project.
Yeah. When I was doing this on a sort of a industrial scale for P&O, the last 2 years I was there, I was sort of handling 4 or 5 proposal per call round, and I did the building up of the consortia. So I had sort of doing it a little, I had to make standard text for emails so I would spend a lot of time focused making the right email, and then I would shift core elements of the text, customize it to the different parts. It's important that you save your time and not sit and have to think you have to write everything every single time you contact people. But that if you do it in the right way, then if you have a super strong email, that's gonna help anyways. It's I knew this would be long. Maybe now we've been moving in and out, sort of discussing different things. Anything else to this last thing? Because then we can move on to, but we already start to dig into the social skills. So what
we haven't really go through a little bit. We have.
So it's we mentioned a little, we touched it a little bit, but I think both what I said earlier, that anything you do within this, it's come down to how you communicate with other people, both when you reach out, but also when you do the proposal itself, and when you do the project, if you win the funding. So it's interpersonal skills, and how you deal with that. So it's what is your approach, your social skills, Lara? What you said that you learned a lot from doing this. So how do you do it, and what did you learn over the years on the social skills?
Yeah, in order to have we have been discussing how hard is doing is the networking phase of the business of EU grant applications is hard. So for that you have to have a strong specific social skills or personal skills. I think the most important thing is be yourself.
Yep.
But that's key. You have to be yourself. Be really the person you are. I think to be honest with the person you have and be natural is very important. But that's something that sometimes might not help, because maybe you don't have that social skills that will help you to be in front of people. So I think this is something that you develop along the years. Of course, when you are younger, maybe you don't have that skills yet developed, and then through the years you start to develop them. But for me, I think there are 5 key characteristics, at least, that have helped me. The first one is you have to be a good speaker that really allows you to communicate properly to a diverse audience, as we tell, so that you have to be persuasive. How is the pronunciation? And convincing a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be, because sometimes you only have very short time to give the message. So you have to be a very good speaker, very organized.
Yeah.
So that you convince the speaker in the first minutes, and then he or she wants to listen to you more. But also, you are not there alone. I mean, there is 2 people talking, so you have to be active, to develop active listening.
Yeah.
So it's all about you are giving, but you are also receiving. So you have to listen what the other person is telling to you. So it's essential to that you listen what they have to say, because maybe you have something in your mind. You put your notes, and then I want this and this and this from this person, but maybe what is offering you is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you also like that. So be active listening, because maybe the conversation changed to something that you are also like that. And also, as you say, the non-verbal communication, the body language is very important to look to the eyes, even if you are like we are now with a screen between us, look like you are interested, look at the eyes, that you are, with a good position of your body and of your hands. I think that's very important. The 4th is assertive communication. So that you express yourself in a direct way, because you have only 20 minutes. So you have be very practical and very direct, but at the same time, not being very, like, you have to be clear and concise ideas and not very ambiguous, and say what you really want to say in a very politely way, but be very direct. I want this and this and this, because if you start to be very diffuse, like, it's complicated, the conversation. I have faced in that moment when you don't know exactly why they book a meeting with you. So,
and that's the thing. Many people, this is what you run into. Now we're talking about social skills for the matchmaking events here. So where it's very short and concise. So that's very nicely folded out, Lara. But yeah, so many or some of the contacts that you will run into there, they are not that clear themselves if they booked you, because they might have said with a long list and then they ticked like this. So if they have not prepared themselves very well, but it's also from your own part. You need to make sure you don't seem, even if it's not that interesting, or if it's not really what you want, if you are obviously showing that you couldn't care less about what they're saying because it doesn't catch your attention or anything, be kind.
Yeah.
Always.
Always
be kind and don't drop the shallowness. For Christ's sake, be with a heart there, honest, open approach, and kind. And with
what I usually do say is like, of course, it's very interesting what you are telling to me. Knowing what I'm looking for and what you are offering, I think at this time, at this moment of time, I don't see how we can collaborate, but this doesn't mean that we cannot collaborate in the future. So please, could you send me more information? Because maybe, as I said, for this specific year, we are not going to approach this topic, or our idea is not something where maybe we need what you're offering me, but this can change. And this has happened to me, like, hey, I remember, because of the database, then you go back to the database and like, okay, remember that I speak with this organization that is this and this and this, maybe then I will contact them. Yeah, you have to be very kind. And also what the skills, one of the important skills using the active listening is like, you can guide the conversation towards something that is benefit for both.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, for example, if I have a meeting with a Spanish company that is there in the brokerage, and they just want to, so they don't do any innovation, apparently. A research organization is not the customer. We are not clients. We don't buy a product.
Yep.
So, like, let's not waste time of any of us. So what I ask is like, hey, do you have a research department? Do you have national or European EU projects? Do you have any needs, problems to solve, that we can help you as a research organization? And sometimes it turns that the person put me in contact with the, if there is the director of innovation, the research manager or something like that. And then maybe something, for example, some small collaboration in the framework of a national project that are smaller.
End user for future
projects.
Yeah,
end user, yeah. So you can guide them as well.
Yeah. And there's also no shame in stopping a meeting before, I've often been stopping a meeting after 10 minutes. Look, I guess that's it. You don't have to sit there for 20 minutes.
Correct.
It's important, but that goes. It's not just for these matchmaking events. It's in general. You have to take these talks as a conversation rather than a one way. Or two that's riding in one-way streets next to each other in different directions. You understand? You have to pick. It's a little bit what you just said, that you need to calibrate a little bit what the other is, and see if you on the spot, if it doesn't comply with what you thought it would be, the conversation. You have to practice, if you haven't done that much, but you need to understand how to shift the conversation and flexibly moving in a direction that might be something.
And sometimes it's not easy because the person that you have in front of you is maybe shy, introverted, or she's tired. Sometimes what I ask, like if we are at the end of the day, I try to be kind, like, are you okay? Are you fine? No, because how many interviews have you had or meetings? I don't know, 10. Do you want that we write the emails and we have an email meeting later on? Or maybe yes. Or maybe we are just talking about other things and just 5 minutes of business, because after all, it's a person there. You cannot be cold. You have to, we say be kind and understand that the other person might be shy or tired, and you cannot be really cold. Like,
no, and it's be yourself. I'm sort of a light person, so I often, if I can squeeze in a joke or something like this, I do that normally. So I also do that when I matchmake, because that's just me, So it's if people can immediately feel if you are yourself, and it's just if you are yourself and if you are behaving yourself, so to say, then you're also going to get the most out of it.
Correct.
Do you have anything else?
Well, I think we went through the points that this personal network, right?
This is what you mentioned. You mentioned that so what it has meant for you personally.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when in our pre-talk that it had done a lot for you your personal network. So it's not. So when you are doing these things, you have, of course, a professional work. You work for an organization, and you build up whatever network vis-a-vis what you are, the targets that you have for the organization you work for. But it's not. It's more than that. Yeah. It's this conversation is a pure example of that, because it's something that stretches its long fingers into the future that you don't even know yet. So, and the more you follow the approach that we have been carving out, and probably I made mistakes. I've been doing the wrong way for a long time before I learned how to deal with these things, of like how to the approach and so on. So, but when I finally got it, then people you talk to, and it's stretching into something else. Also, because if you start to collaborate with these people on concrete stuff, especially proposals, then you are in an intense collaboration with these people, so it sticks. They will always remember you as you move on. So can you put a few words on that, Lara?
Yeah, for me, that's the beauty part of networking. Like through the years, you are in close collaboration with a bunch of people that usually you are continuously collaborating with them. Probably is because of personal relationship or business relationship, but at the end, it's like personal relationship that you have been creating with that person, and that's the most beautiful part of my work. That I have created such a beautiful network, business network, along the years, that no matter where I have been working, that they follow you and you follow them. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where then you are working one day in the future. If you have touched them for whatever reason, maybe it's just that there's a match. The people, personalities match with each other better than the other ones. But if you have done a good work and you have been a good person and kind with somebody, you have been really professional, no matter what has happened, then they are going to follow you and count on you wherever you are. And that's really what has happened to me. I've been in FUNDITEC 4 years, and now I can say that I have friends thanks of this networking through the years. Now they are my friends that I can count on them, and they are my. We don't have that feeling that we have to, always collaborate each other because we know each other. No, it's just that we have such a strong collaboration through the years that we count on each other. Yeah. And for me, like being in a small research center at FUNDITEC, this has helped me a lot because I have heard many times, like, I know you, Lara, and I know that you do the things well, so I want to be in your consortium, or I want that you are in my consortium because I know that what you are telling to me is as it is. So for me personally, this has been really beautiful, the networking that I have created, and some of them are my friends. And you never know what can happen in the future.
No.
Maybe you move to Finland, and then you have a partner, and then you move to Denmark. It's amazing. Like, I know people in the whole map of Europe, across Europe. Yeah. So that's personally I like. I couldn't move to another type of job where I don't have this. But this is because I am a social animal.
You get the feeling of that. It's very. I can perfectly see where that comes from, and materialize for the people that you connect with. For me, I have some very good contacts from over the years, but friends, that's rather old colleagues, I would say. I have some very strong connections that's within private consultancy, but you're also a little bit there, Lara. The busyness that you have, it knits you together. Yeah. So when you work in a team, colleagues to push things over the goal line, it does something to a relationship when you have to do that things together. So there, I would say I have some I could close to call friends, so to say. And
I do have friends.
I worked especially with one of my closest colleagues in P&O. That would probably be a friend. And then there's another one in the P&O Spain department that a Danish girl sitting there, Jeanette. She's also a close one. From the contacts, so to say, on the other side, I have many good contacts. But friends, I wouldn't say that. But it's also depends on how you network. Yeah, how you. But
the beers in Brussels always help.
Yeah, Yeah.
And then you repeat, and there's the same people. So after all, it's like being an Erasmus. Erasmus exchange. I have been in Erasmus, and like you are very young and you are with a lot of European students. So in a way, it's like that you go to Brussels and there are a lot of European professionals. You meet them all the time. So,
but I must also say, if I sit and reflect now, there I have a very, very large group of contacts that are gone.
Yeah, me too.
Understand?
And I was thinking about enemies.
Enemies are
because
everywhere.
Of the envy.
Enemies are everywhere. I've been also I've been on the rough side of that, and it's not nice when you run into. Yeah, it's not.
But I think that's life, that's business life. Of course, that's something that doesn't have to bother you. Yeah. You don't have to like everybody, so it's fine. It's okay as long as they don't really hurt you or do things really bad for your organization.
It's not something I need to share, but they went pretty far. So and did. There were some life-changing moments there. So it's enemies are everywhere. I've had some rough lessons, and that has has helped me in the life that I live now. So it's like this. You get snakes everywhere. Yeah, and I think when you in a job like this, when you are talking to people all the time, and then eventually you also run into the other side of the middle, dark side of things. So it's always like this. People have interests, and sometimes people are
of course there is
have a veil over what they want.
We talk about the beautiful thing, but of course there are shadows and dark side. No. But I think this dark side, you know, when happened to me, not during the networking of more salesperson, but I have had problems when I was in project management of running projects. When the project was running, there you have all kind of weird things going on in a project.
There you have the psychology of resources and resource optimization. You have intergroup psychology there, where it's always easy to shoot at the coordinator and stuff like this. It's people pushing their luck. And
I had personal calls threatening me, like some budgetary issues, like, hey,
that's so
like, why are you calling me to my phone and threatening? Like, I'm not keeping them your money.
Yeah.
Lara Valentín is not keeping the money. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, but don't. It was really hard, and I was very young, and I couldn't sleep for many nights. Like,
this is where the claws get out. The budget negotiations, but that has nothing to do with of course the software but budget negotiations, that's where the knives get out.
I like when I'm preparing the proposal, I like a lot. It's something I spent 2 days of reviewing the budgets, and I love that this part. Well, I have to do. I like it.
I'm not fond of it. Because it's this maximizing mode that everybody gets into, and then the anger that they put when you. I'm a diplomat, so I manage and I can deal that coordinating the group, but sometimes I've had to lean up against a strong coordinator for when it gets really rough. Say, look, now you shut the fuck up. This is the budget. This is the budget, or we don't submit anything. And then no, okay. No.
I'm an easy partner. I try not to be very pushy, but
I'm never pushy, but if they start themselves, then what do you need? Like if you have people that like it's I think each group is different. And what they get into of a group psychology, it's a different profile for each group you have. But I've been into something where it had to be now it stops. Now it stops. No. Lara, we need to finish off, but it's not the last time that we have done this, because you have a lot of experience, so there's a lot of things to talk about. So I always try to put a hook in my guests for possible future talk. So it's I hope that you would like to join me for other stuff in the future. I always end. There's always something. There's always something. Also, this is what I can reveal to the listeners. We had a good talk about the roughness of writing proposals, what it does to your psychology, and that's something that is one of my discourses. I have episodes on a regular basis on this topic, shedding light on this. So this is also something where we can discuss these things. So I had a post in LinkedIn in summer about the shadows of writing a proposal during summer. Mm-hmm. No.
Like we won the project, but something that psychology is really hard, really, really hard. Yeah. It's not like you have to spend hours working. It's like it's hard to do it in summer. Every other year.
It's horrible. I just released. That's of course when I release this episode, it's going to be far just before Christmas. I just released an episode on Christmas, writing proposals in Christmas, because with the same sort of discourse, Cypriotic consultancy company. I insist on shedding light on this.
It's very important.
Our last thing, I always have a segment that I call the toughest challenge. Toughest challenge on networking. What's that?
I brought here something
practical or psychology.
More a bit of mix. Like for me, the more challenging part is the brokerage. These 20 minutes or 50 minutes you have. So for me, the challenge is to be quick with a small talk to really catch the attention of the other one in just 15, 20 minutes, so that people remembers who you are.
Yep.
And then when he or she is back to work, look at the notes and say I have to write at this person because of what just in a few minutes told me. And also that links to more like this, the social, like if you have make a change in that person because your personality, that's this is really challenging. So the communication skills are really challenging. So especially in this elevator speech. And another challenge is to face the diversity of people that you have in front of you.
Yeah.
That's really challenging, and it's not easy. If you develop that skills, that's something you have to put in your curriculum. And also the challenge is also the ability to react quick against all kind of people in this diversity, because you don't know what you have in front, and this is really a challenge that just quick you have to react.
Yeah.
For me, these are the main challenges.
Yeah, and then I guess for me, it's probably the whole frame of for these events, the whole preparation and follow up. So you have the preparation, follow up, and then you have the event itself. So everything has to come together beautifully, and that's it's rough work. And if you get it wrong, or if you don't, if call persons, you don't get it right with them and so on, it's tricky afterwards to repair the first impression if it didn't come off right. And that's but otherwise, I think other kinds of networking, I think that it's this rabbit hole that you sometimes have to dig into to find that right partner that can do exactly this. And you just run into dead end streets, that's probably, and then juggle with it. That Excel sheet you have when you do building the consortium, it's a cacophony of color codes and all kinds of information. No, I think that's it, Lara.
Okay.
I'm tired. It's also been almost 2 hours, so I probably have to cut it into 2 episodes because it's long, but it's good. It's been great content. The listeners should. Now, I'm just gonna make a short outro. So thank you for listening to the end. I hope that you all got something out of this. You have lots of nice content here for everybody who is working within this. You both get your practical examples and experiences from me and Lara, but also on a little bit on the psychology and the skill side that should help any one of you that are dealing with this. Go to my website, go and subscribe to the podcast. It's important for my little initiative here. So if you have sympathy, please do subscribe to it because it's the best way for me to grow. I keep trying, and maybe especially for this, I should guide you to the hub part of the website where I have a link to the B2 Match website where you can find all matchmaking events. There, so that's the most important resource you will find when it comes to these matchmaking events that we've been talking a lot about in this episode. You also find lots of other information in there. So, Lara, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Niels. Yes.
And it was great having you on board. I hope that you.
Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I think these are very important things for people, the newcomers in grant preparations. So I hope that people find interested and helpful what we are discussing. And yes. And I'm really looking forward. Like if I can still cooperate with you, for me it's really a pleasure.
The door is always open to the virtual podcast studio in the grant. So if you have something interesting you want to talk about, we can always carve out a nice thing to talk about. It's like this. People, thank you for listening to the end, and hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.